For this vegan white bread recipe, you will need strong white bread flour, plant-based milk, soya is the best, go unsweetened, be lukewarm when added to the recipe, lukewarm water, this is my homemade butter, recipe can be found on my channel, caster sugar, quick yeast, and some salt. Let's get started. Using a scale is apparently better than using cups to measure your ingredients out. So weighing out in grams, 450 grams of flour, 25 grams of caster sugar, 7 grams of fast-acting yeast, and add these to a mixing bowl with 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And mix to combine. $150 ml of your non-dairy milk, your lukewarm non-dairy milk, plus your 150 ml of lukewarm water. I'm going to add all of this milk in to make a sticky dough and see how much of the water I require. So I actually required twice the amount of water the recipe suggested, but it's come together rather nicely. Don't know how sticky dough is supposed to be, but it stuck to my finger when I was trying to get it off the spoon. So let's continue. And then knead the dough for 5 minutes. Oh, feels good until it's nice and soft. Weigh out 60 grams of your vegan butter and knead the butter into the dough until it is fully combined. And stretchy and elastic, and this feels amazing. So a mixer, loads of people probably have the dough bread mixer, but I'm finding combining by doing this really helped me combine the fats, just to really squeeze, and then you knead it. It's really satisfying to see it all coming together. First of all, you're like, is this actually going to combine? Because I'm doing it by hand. But after a while, look at that. It's the butter actually integrates into the dough, and gosh, I've probably only been here for 10 minutes. Just, in the beginning I was really squeezing it all together, but now, gosh, I love this. It's lovely and elastic, and it's not sticking to the surface. Probably should roll my sleeves up. Oh, this is so much fun. Right, I think we are done. So place your dough in a lightly greased bowl and set aside for a couple of hours at room temperature. Cover. I prefer not to use cling film. Just going to use a tea towel. And after 2 hours, let's have a look. Whoa! Yes, it's doubled in size. And it smells amazing. Oh, I just missed out the great sound of punching the air out of it. It's going So you just punch the air out of it for 30 seconds, and then you leave it to rest for 10 minutes. Boom! Yeah. Next I'm supposed to roll out the dough on a lightly dusted, floured surface to a length of 20 by 38 centimeters with a rolling pin. I don't have one, so I'm using a glass. And once that is done, you roll up from the shortest edges into a tight roll. Like a giant roll. Next, grease up the loaf tin, because I hate when my loaf sticks. I greased using my homemade vegan butter, and then place the loaf seam side down into your loaf tin. Bit better than that. So, squidged in nicely and then covered loosely and put in a warm spot until it is about an inch, 2.5 centimeters risen above the tin. I don't really have a warm spot. I figured sitting in the sun like a cat basking would be the best place for it for now. We'll see it in a bit. Whilst the dough is rising, preheat the oven to 190 or 170 if you've got a fan assistant. I don't know. Oh, I helped to turn the power on. Boom! And we have life. It's October in England and it's not the warmest of times of years, so even in the sunlight, maybe it just needs some body heat. Warm, keep it warm. Rise, come on baby, rise. I decided to turn off the oven and let this be my warm spot. Yeah, a warm spot. But look, it is rising. That is it. Hang on, let's have a look. It's rising. Patience, patience. Look. So, let it rise, let it rise, let it rise. Now it has risen. It shall go into the oven for 30 to 35 minutes. I could smell it burning, so I quickly took it out. I need to measure the temperature to make sure that it's actually cooked inside. I'm going to reduce the temperature of the oven in case, and maybe just leave it on in there for a bit to cool down. Right, I bought this thermometer specifically for this, so here goes. And it's 62, 61, 60. It needs to go back in, I think. But I'm going to keep the temperature down. It's going down anyway. Rather than panicking, if you tap it on the bottom, it should sound hollow. If it's cooked. Does that sound hollow? So apparently the best temperature for a bread to get up to be perfect is 94 degrees Celsius. I only got up to 81 and it's now dropping down to 80. But that colour, I don't want it to get any darker, and I'm going to trust that it comes out okay. Well, not bad for a first attempt since I was 12 years old, and it smells lovely, sweet and buttery, and risen pretty well. So, looking forward to having it as to dip in my soup, make my sandwich with, toast, ooh, and bread and butter pudding. Wow. Okay, check this out. Poof! Aha. 30-second knead. So, proving the dough should end up like this, and when you tap it, it should leave a fingerprint and be very slow to rise back up. If it springs back up immediately, leave it to prove a little bit longer. I can smell the butter as it's baking. It smells delicious. For the perfect loaf of bread, that temperature needs to go up to 94 degrees Celsius. Put it back in the oven for about 10 more minutes. Whew, see that? The hole I made is steaming hot. Let's see what the temperature is. And it is the right temperature, check it out. It's 94 degrees Celsius. And what a beautiful loaf that turned out to be. There it is, a beautiful vegan loaf. So if you tap it on the bottom, gosh, it's still very hot. You see the steam coming out of that hole. Beautiful.